Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this seminar of research entitled The Green Challenge of the Energy Transition. I'm Salma Shabrina, the moderator of today's seminar. I'm very pleased to see you here and welcome all of you for today's seminar. The speaker today is Miss Enty Prettycia Putri. She is one of the students in the Faculty of Letter majoring in English Language and Literature, Universitas Negeri Malang. Presently, she is studying for degree in the area of English Language and Literature at Universitas Negeri Malang in Indonesia. Before the presentation begins, let me give a brief explanation about what we're going to talk about today in this seminar. Energy that comes from non-renewable resources cannot be separated from today's human. Without it, the economy wouldn't run and all humans would die. But how long can the resources sustain the industry? Indeed, the answer is not forever. Since the amount of fossil fuels available to humankind is finite, then what if the source no longer provide us energy? Should we move on to the alternative sources? Are there any obstruction to that? This questionable topic will be answered and presented by our presenter today. Let me present Ms. Enty Prettycia Putri.
Energy is the key factor that drives the economy. Without abundant energy coming from sources other than human and animal muscles, the society as we know it would be unthinkable. How long will fossil fuels and coals last? The answer cannot be any other than not forever, since, for all practical purposes, the amount of fossil fuels available to humankind is finite. The problem is not the physical running out of fossil fuels, it is the fact that we are gradually running out of the low-cost resources that had been used to build up our industrial system. At the same time, the Earth's capability of absorbing the products of combustion of fossil fuels is limited. Phasing out fossil fuels. We are facing more and more difficult times in maintaining the current system based on the fossil fuels. The combined effects of depletion and climate change are pushing humankind in the direction of replacing fossil fuels with cleaner and more abundant forms of energy. But the task is not an easy one. At the core of the problem, there's the fact that still today no existing alternative energy technology can compete with the fossil fuels in terms of combining a series of features that are perceived as fundamental for our energy system. The role of science and technology for our generation of a smooth transition. Renewables are a growing technology which hold the promise of being able to produce amounts comparable and even superior to what we are producing at present with fossil fuels. The problem is not so much a technological one, but lies in the fact that the infrastructure of our society is not adapted to these new forms of energy. So the transition is in progress, but it turns out to be difficult, complex, and expensive. What role then for science in this transition? These are all valid strategies, but we need to do more in view of urgency of the transition. We need to evaluate new technologies in terms of their efficiency and their impact on the environment and on other economic activities. Then, we need to develop strategies to optimize their benefits and minimize their unintended negative effects. The energy transition is first of all a systemic problem in the sense that new technologies develop within an existing energy system and that forces changes and adaptation to both the system and to the new technologies. The energy transition is also an economic problem since the present financial system tends to look only towards immediate profit, discounting medium and long-term advantages. The problem lies in the fact that the infrastructure of our society is not adapted to these new forms of energy.
That was the presentation by Miss Enty Prettycia Putri. Thank you very much, Miss Enty Prettycia Putri, for giving such information and interesting presentation. To all participants, if you have any question for today's seminar, drop any question below on the comment section and our presenter will be answered on the next week video. Ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to the end part of this seminar. Before I close the seminar, I would like to take the conclusion from what the speakers have presented. As we see from what our presenter present, we could take a conclusion that if we can manage to consider the technological, economical, and systemic factors, then we will be able to do the energy transition and eliminate the usage of fossil fuels for a better, cleaner, and equitable future. Finally, we come to the last session of this webinar. I would like to thank you so much for the speaker for informative and interesting presenter, and to the participant for very active participation. Hopefully the information that we have shared today will be useful for all of us. Thank you.